Hi there guys, my name's Fred. I'm here in Store DJ in Melbourne and I'm here to show you today Native Instruments Maschine. Now I've been collecting gear for about 10 years, I've got lots of toys and I must say without a shred of doubt this is the single most innovative, exciting and fun piece of music equipment that I've had the chance to get my hands on. Nothing has more radically changed the calibre of the music I make and the way I make music. Maschine consists of three main components, that being a hardware controller, a piece of software that can run either standalone or as a plugin inside your host, VST, AU or RTAS, and lastly a library of immaculate sounds, probably the most amazing library that I've worked with. It's been put together by Native Instruments with the help of some seriously high caliber artists, people like Stefan Bodzen, Oliver Hunterman, Eamon Tobin to name a few, so some really talented and cutting edge producers have helped out. Alright guys, so this is the Maschine hardware interface. Now you can see it sort of resembles some of the beatboxes like an MPC or something like that you might have seen in the past. Obviously one of the great things about Maschine is that it utilises computer software in order to do all its processing. So you've got access to far greater CPU, RAM and hard drive space than you would have on an external piece of gear. Everything you can do on the software, you can do here on the hardware as well, which after a little while really makes you completely forget that you're using the software. You know, I very rarely take up the mouse. Very much all the work that I do is done here on the controller. So just to give you a bit of a tour, you can see here you've got two screens that allow you to kind of see exactly what's going on, allows you to browse through files, select effects. You've even got a full waveform display, as I'll show you in a little while. You can do full waveform editing on the unit. Machine's made up of basically 8 banks of 16 sounds, and you can go in and load individual sounds into each bank and sort of make up your own bank, or like Native Instruments actually call them groups, not banks. And then if you like, you can also load up entire groups as say a drum kit or something like that, or a percussion kit or something like that. Now Native Instruments is by no means restricted to purely percussion sounds. It's also got a phenomenal library of sound effects, basses, guitars, keys, choirs. Look, what I thought I'd first start by doing is just familiarise yourself with a few different modes of recording in here. So what I've done is, just to save some time, I've loaded in a few sounds here, and what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the two different ways that you can sequence within Maschine. The first thing that I really love about Maschine, that I've missed greatly from my times working on hardware units like the MPCs, is the ability to step sequence. And so over here you've got these two modes here. In normal mode control I can sort of pick these sounds and I can select any sound. Whatever sound is last selected will stay highlighted. And then if I move over here into step sequence mode and hit play, over here I can choose the length of a pattern, and you can see now this just represents your 4/4 beats. So if I go back here, I pick the sound I'm after, click onto here, and I can just drop in 4 kick drums. Now I'm able to change the velocity of these kick drums here. So if I wanted to say do a roll, for example, you can see over here I've got a low velocity, and as I'm putting them in, I'm just increasing the velocity level, which is giving me a nice sort of rolling kick drum. Now you might have also heard that it's swung there. Maschine has an overall swing control here. So for any sort of techno, electro, any of those kind of 4/4 musics, it's great. You can really sort of crank that up, so up to about 50%. What we'll do is we'll start to throw in a kick drum. So I put that in here at probably not full velocity, probably leave a little bit of velocity, so some headroom if I want to turn it up later. Now if I want to make the length of the pattern longer than 1 bar, I can increase this to any length, and you can see as I increase this over here, this allows me to select between the two halves of the pattern. So I might just pop that in there, pop a couple of kicks in there, might just drop one in there like this. Cool. If I go back into here, I can kick my little clap there and just pop them in where I'm after. So you'll see that's in the first half there, and then that's in the second half there. Cool. Now the fun part really begins where we can start to real-time record things. So as I go in here, you'll see I've got all these different sounds here that I can play in, and to real-time record you literally just hit record and play it in where you're after. So cool. Now you might have a look at the screen and see that I'm not a robot, so I haven't managed to play it perfectly in time. The Maschine allows for that. It's got a quantize built into it. You can quantize by 50%, which you can see is bringing it ever so slightly back to where it should be. But if you hit quantize, it'll lock it right on. One of my favourite things about Maschine though is if you go into here, you can actually set quantize to automatically always quantize, which means you can't play out of time now. It'll lock to whatever grid you've set up, in this case 16th notes. And Cool, so we can just hit record and have a bit of fun with this now. So